Good day, YouTube, and today I will be telling you about the medieval cloak. Well, pretty much the outlook of the medieval cloak. As you can tell, the medieval cloak is one of the most famous things in history to keep someone warm during those cold winter nights around the campfire. Now, pretty much we see a bunch of movies about the medieval cloak, such as The Lord of the Rings or Vikings or something like that. But here's the thing. The medieval cloak is not as what we think about like it being attached right here. What it really was is like, well, a type of medieval sheet. Well, technically it was like a big giant blanket, I should put it like that. Because originally that's what the entire cloak was. It was meant to be a sheet for you to wear, such as the hood, which was easily to be placed on. So pretty much this is how the medieval cloak would have looked. Now I'm going to show you how it was to be looking like. Because if you didn't wear it, what it would look like is, well, just like this, a normal plain blanket. But with a little bit of genius idea, somebody thought of a way to make sure to place themselves on it with it. Now what they would do is that they would attach it by not attaching it at all. For this, they would have to place it around one shoulder in the area, and the other end around the other shoulder on the outlook. In the process, the sheet would then come down like this. Now, pretty much we see a lot of medieval fighting, and here's the thing though. You can't fight with your cloak on. That was pretty much the most dumbest thing. Because as soon as the battle was to come around, you would drop your cloak, such as like this. And in the process, you could draw your sword. That was the outlook of a medieval cloak. But now you guys are probably wondering, okay, what will hold it in? Actually, nothing would actually hold it in. The only thing that would hold it in would be the fabric itself. Because the fabric would just be a giant blanket, like I said before. A giant blanket. That's all it is. Pretty much, the medieval cloak would cover your body, like so. So pretty much you first just wrap it around the one arm that's not your shield arm. This is my shield arm, so I wrap the first one around this shoulder, and then I wrap this second one around my sword arm. Now in doing this, I now have a type of outlook. Now pretty much this is how the medieval cloak should have really looked. But yeah, this is actually one of the ways, because pretty much we can pretty much see this when it came to a medieval fire or something like that, when people wrapped themselves like this. That meant that it was actually a medieval blanket, not a small sheet of cloth. Now pretty much, as you can tell, the sheet of cloth is actually holding itself pretty good. I don't need anything to hold it on with. It stays put by itself. That is actually one of the most famous ideas in history, because pretty much now people think that it works. But here's the thing, it works. In fact, I can pretty much have free movement of my arms, and as well, if I want to, I could cover one end and walk around and leave the other end unclear. Or what I could do is leave both of them open. Leave both ends closed, or I can even do it like this. Now pretty much, a lot of times though, we see the cloak only covering one end of the body while people walk around. This is kind of true and kind of not true, depending on the region and depending if you had a weapon or not. Because pretty much when it came to nobles, what they would do is they would cover only one end of their body. Actually, what nobles would actually do is actually cover both ends of the body, like this. Pretty much the ladies, the noble ladies of the house, would do it like this. But when it came to the men, they sometimes wore only like, they only wore it like on one end of the body or on the other end. It depended if they had a sword or not. Now, pretty much if it came to a servant or something like that, what they would do is pretty much wear it kind of like this. Now, pretty much as you can tell, with my face looking like this, I look the fucking Nazgul, as you probably tell. This is actually good, as you might think. This is probably of how the Nazgul might have really looked. Not with it hooked here, but hooked over here. Which this is kind of, well, the same thing and not the same thing. But you get my point. And pretty much with a dent of light, you actually can see my face, but you cannot see my face. From this angle, you can see it. But if I turn, you cannot see it. Because pretty much this was the way of how it was supposed to be looking like. If you found this entire YouTube episode pretty helpful of how the medieval cloak would have really looked like, please like the video, subscribe, and put in the comment section of what else you want to see of what this type of medieval cloak would have looked like, and if you want any more ideas put on here. Thank you very much, and remember to have your sword unsheathed.